What if at 26, you suddenly realize you have almost no friends? You stare at your phone, refresh your messages, invite people out, and all you get back is silence. Like the whole world is playing a game of who can forget you the fastest. My name is Eric. I live in Seattle, and this is my story. On the surface, everything looked fine. I had a job at an IT company, a decent salary, my own rented apartment with a view of the gray sky, and even a habit of working out at home, so I wouldn't completely fall apart. Neighbors said hi in the elevator. Coworkers nodded in the hallway. The barista at the coffee shop already knew my order. Latte, no sugar. Sounds like a good life, right? But once you take off the mask, the truth is obvious. I had almost no friends. You think it's no big deal? Try going even 1 month without evening chats, without phone calls like, hey, want to hang out? Without laughter in a group. At first, it feels okay. You've got your job, Netflix, the gym. But then the silence starts pressing down on you. When I turned 26, that silence became almost unbearable. Everyone around me had groups, plans, parties, and I was always the guy it's fine not to invite. I tried. I really tried. Every day, I messaged people on Telegram. Hey, how's it going? What's new? Saw this meme. Totally you. Sometimes I even made up jokes just to melt the ice. And what happened? Sometimes they replied hours later, sometimes days later, but most of the time, they didn't even open my message. I invited people for coffee at Starbucks, a walk on the waterfront, or a movie night. And almost every time I heard the same things. Oh, sorry, I'm busy. How about plans? Let's talk later. Or just silence. Do you know that feeling? Staring at your phone, realizing it's not that they're busy. They just don't care. And in those moments, I felt like people were disgusted by me. Like I was forcing myself on them. But here's the paradox. Sometimes, very rarely, someone did invite me somewhere. And I never said no. Even if I was exhausted after work, even if all I wanted was to collapse in a bed, I still went. Because I thought, maybe this is my chance to fit in. Pathetic, right? And it really was pathetic. Because I kept telling myself, I'm fine alone. I'm used to it. I'm an introvert. But the truth was, I waited for every message like a starving dog waiting for crumbs to fall off the table. It was humiliating. The first cracks. Things started to fall apart on a totally ordinary day. I was standing in the office kitchen, pouring myself coffee. The machine was humming. The smell of espresso mixed with the scent of a fresh muffin someone had left on the table. And then I overheard two coworkers talking. You going to the party tonight? One asked. Yeah, of course. Everyone's going to be there. Even Michael said he'd show up. I froze with my cup in hand. What party? In that moment, I realized nobody had told me about it, even though we all sit in the same office. I try to brush it off. Maybe it's some private thing. Maybe I'm just not in the loop. But inside, I was boiling. I pretended I hadn't heard, went back to my desk, opened my laptop. But my brain was gone. All I could think was, why didn't they tell me? And then something happened that I really wasn't ready for. High voltage, the twist after work, I decided to ask. I went up to one coworker I considered almost a friend. His name's Josh. We sometimes talked about movies, even grabbed lunch a couple of times. Hey, what's this party tonight? I asked. Josh hesitated. His smile got stiff. Oh, it's nothing. Just some of the guys getting together. Me, got it. And then he instantly switched topics. Hey, have you seen the new iPhone? The camera is insane. And in that moment, I knew. They just didn't invite me. It felt like a punch to the gut. The inner conflict. On the outside, I pretended I didn't care. I smiled, made jokes, told myself, whatever, I got my own plans. But that night, I sat in my apartment, staring out the gray window, feeling like I'd been erased. Not betrayed, just erased. And then came the worst part. I opened Instagram, and there it was. Pictures from the party. Coworkers with beers, laughing, music, garden lights. Everyone, literally everyone. Even people I'd barely spoken to. And me? Nowhere. Have you ever seen a party where everyone was invited? Except you? That's worse than loneliness. That's a mark. You don't belong. False hope. The next day, Josh actually came up to me first. Hey, we're thinking of hitting a bar this weekend. Want to join? I smiled. Sure, sounds good. Inside me, hope lit up. Maybe I overreacted. Maybe they honestly just forgot to invite me. Maybe now things will finally change. But you know what happened next? That weekend, I walked to the bar with a strange mix of feelings. On one hand, excitement. Finally, I'd been invited. On the other, fear. What if it was just another letdown? The bar was in downtown Seattle, near Pike Place Market. The moment I stepped inside, I was hit with the smell of grilled meat, beer and chips, and that familiar background noise. Laughter, music, clinking glasses. I spotted my coworkers at a table in the back. They were already laughing, arguing about something. I took a deep breath and walked toward them. False calm. Hey, Eric, grab a seat. Josh said, pulling out a chair. I sat down, ordered a beer, and pretended I felt confident. But inside, everything was tight. I listened closely to the conversations. Someone talking about a show, someone else about their vacation in Mexico, another sharing a funny story about parking. I tried to join in. Yeah, I watched that show too, but it was like I wasn't even there. The words flew past me like cars on the freeway. I kept smiling, nodding, laughing on cue. But the feeling that I didn't belong only grew stronger. The first hit. Then something happened I'll never forget. One guy, Mark, suddenly said, "Remember Tom's party last week? That was insane." The whole table exploded with laughter. Someone slapped the table. Someone else started retelling details. And I just sat there in silence. Mark finally noticed me. "Oh, wait, you weren't there, were you?" I felt all the eyes on me for a split second. I forced a smile. Yeah, I was busy that night. But inside, I was burning. I wanted to scream. "You never even invited me." But I stayed quiet. Breaking point. I excused myself, went to the bathroom, turned on the faucet, and stared at the mirror. Wet hands, sweaty palms, a fake smile on my face. And suddenly I realized all of this was just a game. A game of pretending to be someone with friends. But in reality, I was just a background character in other people's lives. A new hope. When I came back to the table, the vibe seemed to shift. Josh turned to me. "Hey, maybe tomorrow we can hang out at my place? Play some board games." My heart jumped. "Yeah, absolutely," I said way too quickly, and for a moment, it really felt like things were changing. Like I was finally being included. Like all those nights of silence and rejection had been worth it. The second letdown. The next day, I waited all day. In the morning, I checked Telegram. Nothing. In the afternoon, I texted Josh, "What time are we meeting?" No reply. By 6 p.m., I was sitting on my couch, ready to leave, but still no message. At 7:30, it finally came. "Sorry, man. We already got together." Not much space. Next time. Do you know how that felt? Like I'd only been invited out of politeness. Like I was the backup player they never planned to put in the game. Sudden perspective. A few days later, I overheard two girls from the office. They were laughing about that board game night. It was hilarious. I was crying from laughing so hard. Yeah, and that card moment, I nearly fell off my chair. I walked by, pretending I wasn't listening. But inside, something snapped again. I suddenly saw myself from the outside and realized I was wasting energy on people who didn't want me there. A shift in perspective. That evening, I ran into my neighbor, a girl named Sarah. We'd barely spoken before, just the usual hi in the elevator. But that day, she started the conversation. "You're home alone a lot, huh?" she asked. He hesitated. "Oh, I guess." She smiled. "I thought it was just me. Everyone's so busy, and sometimes I just play music so the silence doesn't drive me crazy." And for the first time, I saw things differently. It wasn't just me. I wasn't the only one who felt like an outsider. Emotional roller coaster. For a while, that gave me strength. I started saying hi to neighbors more often, sometimes dropping by Sarah's place for tea. We talked about shows, traded recipes, and it was genuinely nice. I thought, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe I do have a chance. But just when I started to believe that, life hit me again. A new blow. The office was planning a corporate party. Once again, I heard the laughter, the planning, the list of who was coming. And once again, I wasn't on the list. I finally worked up the courage to ask Josh directly, "Hey, why don't people invite me to these things?" He hesitated, looked away, and said, "You're a good guy, but sometimes you just try too hard. And people feel that." Those words burned into my brain. Try too hard. What the hell does that even mean? Since when is it bad to show effort? Since when is it wrong to want to connect? The breakdown. That night, I came home and for the first time in my life, slammed my fist into the table so hard my mug shattered. I yelled into the empty apartment. "What's wrong with me? Why doesn't anyone want me around?" I sat on the floor among the broken pieces, feeling like I had nothing left to give. And in that moment, I saw two choices. Either I give up completely, or I change everything. After that evening, when I smashed the mug against the table, I sat in silence for a long time. The shards were scattered on the floor, the light from the window painted patches on the walls, and for the first time in a long while, I felt not just anger, but a cold decision. Enough, I told myself. First steps. The next day, I walked into the office as a different person. Not the guy who jumps at every invitation. Not the one searching for approval in every glance. I just sat at my desk, put on my headphones, and worked. When people were chatting by the cooler, I didn't rush to join. When they were making plans for the evening, I didn't ask, "Can I come too?" And you know what happened? At first, no one noticed. But after a couple of days, people started coming to me on their own. "Hey, Eric, have you seen that movie? Eric, want some coffee?" It felt strange. Like the moment I stopped clinging was the first time they actually noticed I existed. An unexpected twist. During one of those small breaks, Josh suddenly said, "Hey, why didn't you come on Friday?" We were all hanging out at Mark's. I looked at him and smiled. You guys didn't invite me. He hesitated. Small? I thought you already knew. That's when two things hit me. First, they honestly thought I was just somewhere nearby, but not really in their circle. And second, if I don't set my own boundaries, no one's ever going to do it for me. False harmony. For a while, things seemed easier. I stopped waiting for texts, stopped depending on other people's plans. I spent more time with Sarah. We'd walk through Seattle at night, sit in small cafes, talk about life. She also felt like an extra in some groups, so we just understood each other without words. And for the first time in a long time, I thought, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe being alone isn't a life sentence. What happened next? A few months passed. I won't lie. Suddenly, I didn't end up with a crowd of new friends. No, but I stopped chasing people who didn't value me. Stopped humiliating myself for invitations that didn't mean anything. I realized something simple. One person who's genuinely happy to see you is better than 10 who couldn't care less. Yeah, I still have evenings when my phone stays silent. But now I know that doesn't make me any less. Question for you. So now I want to ask you, have you ever felt like the extra in a group? Did you keep trying or did you walk away? What would you have done in my place?